If you have a business that works, but it's not really fulfilling, here's some terrible news. There are multiple research studies that found the most successful people are only at the top of their field because they've done it for over a decade, which is when they see the most growth because results are exponential. And the reason why they were able to do it for that long is simply because it was something that was either deeply meaningful, fulfilling, or enjoyable to them. So the bad news is, if you're working on something that is not really fulfilling or enjoyable, chances are you'll eventually quit after 3 or 7 years, you start something else from scratch, and you miss out on the exponential results that only come from doing something for a decade. I mean, look at the growth of Mr. Beast's YouTube channel, or Joe Rogan's podcast, or Elon Musk's companies. If they quit in the first 7 to 10 years and started something new from scratch, we wouldn't know who they are today. And the list is endless. It took J.K. Rowling 9 years for the Harry Potter books to break through. Tony Robbins, the OG of self-improvement, has been doing his seminars for 42 years. There's countless other self-help gurus from the 1980s who we never heard about today. And my argument is, the sooner you can find your forever business, one that's fulfilling and therefore sustainable, the better. And I'm going to walk you through a simple idea here that covers 5 stages that will help you find your forever business, or help you turn your current business into something that you love so much that you can do it for a decade. And if you're new here, my name is Dan Hendricks. And for example, 4 years ago, I made a video about how to find your passion. It reached over 1 million people. And I got more praise from strangers for that one video than my parents could give me in 1,000 lifetimes. I don't really want to talk about it. But since then, I've learned so much more, also from working with different entrepreneurs who are going through this stage, that this video will be even more impactful and worth your time, or else I'll give you your money back. How about that? That's a great deal. That's awesome. You can't go wrong now. I wasted about a year trying to figure out this first one. Let me save you this pain, because it's probably one of the biggest misconceptions that I see when it comes to finding fulfillment and enjoyment in your work. It's very rare that your first business is your forever business. And one rare case example is Mark Zuckerberg.
It said, Mark Zuckerberg? You know who Mark Zuckerberg is? Do research.
He started the Facebook, and now he's still running it as Meta. But are you Mark Zuckerberg?
No, you're not.
Most entrepreneurs I know and that I've seen, their first business is one that they start out of desperation or need, right? They're driven by pain, and they just want something that works. And all they think is, if I just make money and get out of this pain, I'll be happy. And then lo and behold, they get the success, they get the money, and they realize, wait, there's actually a little bit more to life than just making money. And then the next iteration is that they actually want to do something they're passionate about, right? So my first business was an e-commerce business. I hated it. It made me a lot of money, and I wanted out as soon as possible. So I sold the business successfully after a couple of years of starting it. And then I was basically lost looking for what I was really enjoying, right? And when we hit that point where we feel this lack of fulfillment and maybe even a lack of drive because now we got the money, that's oftentimes where we're misled, because we see Elon Musk is going to Mars and Steve Jobs is excelling human potential and Mr. Beast gives away all this money and Tony Robbins changes all these lives. That's probably something that I need. I need to have this big purpose. I need to make a dent in the universe. And then you hear people say cringy things like, I want to touch 1 billion lives and reform the education system. It's like, bro, you sell a course on how to start a social media marketing agency. Just sit down, please. Okay? Just slow down. I've never met a single entrepreneur who wasn't already enjoying what they were doing, and then they added a fluffy, big vision statement, and then all of a sudden they started loving it, and they got reinvigorated with drive and motivation. And don't get me wrong, purpose helps massively, definitely, but only after you already enjoy what you're doing. And it actually comes last, which is why I put it at the very top here. For example, if you read Elon Musk's biographies, it becomes very clear what drives this guy is all this past pain, his ability to excel, just wanting to win. And then, of course, there's also that 10, 20% of, I want to make a big difference in the world, right? So not denying that exists. And there's all these other things in place already that make him feel like he can't stop, right? And he really, hopefully, enjoys it. Although, maybe he's not the best example of that.
I don't think most people would want to be me. They may think they would want to be me, but they don't know. They don't understand.
But take somebody like Mr. Beast, for example. He says it publicly.
I should come up with this, heart-throbbing story of like, I just want to, help people because I couldn't when I was younger or whatever. But the honest truth is, like, I know how to make content go viral. It's just more fun than if I don't.
Giving away the money is a nice bonus for him. When I was talking to Sean Perry from the My First Million podcast when he was on my show, we were talking about this one example, a guy that he knew that started a $100 million deodorant company, right? I think it's Native Deodorant. And the founding story of that company was, oh, my sister was pregnant and all the deodorant brands, she couldn't find one that didn't have all these shady ingredients. And I just knew I had to make a change. And so I launched whatever, right? Something like that. Sean knows the guy and he knows how it actually started, which is with a spreadsheet. And this guy realized, whoa, this is a sick business. If we crack this, really cool. It's like you learn that the tooth fairy isn't real at age 6. You learn that Santa Claus isn't real at age 8. And then when you are, 31, you realize, I guess maybe most companies aren't built because the founder wanted to change the world. And it's usually just great for PR and recruiting because it allows you to attract talent saying, oh, look at this cool, great mission we have. Yeah, I want to work for this guy who sends us to Mars with healthy deodorant. Yeah. My point is, the most successful people already enjoyed what they were doing before the purpose was added on top of it. And sure, if you are running an endangered forest harvesting company that hurts the environment and makes rich, entitled psychopaths richer, and you wake up with panic attacks every night, sweating through your entire mattress, then I guess changing the impact that you're having with what you're doing probably is going to improve things. So if purpose is just the cherry on top, what's the most important thing at the bottom? What's the foundation of this? I need to come up with a name for this so I can sound really smart here. This fulfillment trinity, this passion pyramid. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Whenever pyramid and business is used in the same sentence, people know they're about to sign up to something really fun. Well, here's the most important thing. It's actually something selfish in nature. So I recently worked with a client who reached out to me because he needed some clarity on where to go next, right? He did some soul searching and he was crushing it in business, was making a ton of profit, and he was doing affiliate marketing. But the problem was he was kind of bored with it and he didn't know where to take his business. And his decision was, I think I need my own products because, yeah, I'm promoting other people's products. What if I started an e-commerce business? Or maybe should I start a software company? And what we usually do on these calls is first we zoom out and we go, let's get crystal clear on the goal. And then from there, we determine the most important foundation of it, which is who are you at your core? What are your strengths and weaknesses? What makes you different than other people in terms of how your brain works, how you think, how you operate, and what is most energizing and what is most draining to you? Because this leads us to that person's zone of genius, which I talked about in a previous video. You can check it out. I'll link it somewhere here. It's the zone of genius is the thing that you are so naturally good at that other people look at you thinking, how does he do that so easily? And you look at other people thinking, why does everyone suck at this? It's so simple. And it's also the thing that is most energizing and exciting to you, where it feels effortless and time just flies by. Because it's simply how your brain naturally operates by default. And so we made a list of activities and skills that he was really good at and he really enjoyed, which was finding opportunities that other people will miss. So it was like pattern recognition, making predictions based on deep research. He actually loves research and learning skills, which was also confirmed by the Kolbe test, which is what I have some of the people I work with do, which gives you different ways of how you like to approach work. And he was an 8 in Fact Finder, which is somebody who loves researching and is really good at it. He can sustain volatility, ups and downs. He's a very long-term thinker. And his favorite book is The Richest Man in Babylon, which is about how to use money to make money. And it became so obvious. I was like, you know what you sound like? You sound exactly like Warren Buffett. Think about it. You love researching, you're a long-term thinker, you love finding hidden opportunities and making predictions based on deep research, and you can sustain volatility. This is like text, where's Dayton Camera? What, are you setting me up for a joke here? This is so obvious. And his reaction was just, oh my God. How did I not see this? It's so obvious now that I see it. And so whether he starts a e-commerce physical products business or a software business from there, both are actually bad for him because he's going to be really excited the first month when he finds the hidden opportunities in the product and whatever he can launch. But then he hates operating stuff and he doesn't want to do that, which is the remaining 99% of what he's going to have to do next. So the real question became, how can your zone of genius the researching, the finding hidden opportunities, be at the core of what you do every single day that's also the competitive edge in your business that also makes you fulfilled? And the answer was very simple. It's some sort of investor role, right? Whether it's investing into stocks, there's no operating needed there, or investing into existing businesses that are already running and therefore they don't require a lot of maintenance because you can buy businesses that are already systematized well, right? Or have a team in place. So there's no need to start a new business. He's simply transforming his current one to leverage his core skill. And for those of you out there who have commitment issues, like I know you're out there, this also works for you, right? For you polyamorous entrepreneur weirdos. I know you're out there. The kind of you that say, I want to build a new business every few years. I think you can still have that. You can still have multiple businesses as long as the core work remains the same. Every business has this core work, right? The thing that you do daily that is your competitive edge that drives the value and the growth in the business. And the key is it's what you actually do day to day. For example, if you love recording videos, then YouTube is actually not a great option for you because 3% of what I'm doing day to day is recording. The rest is scripting and writing, right? You gotta love the writing process. Another guy I work with, he has a top AI marketing agency and he loves building things himself, but then he gets drained when he has to go on sales calls and maintain clients, right? And so we asked ourselves, okay, how can we do more of the building stuff and less of the sales calls and maintaining, right? And so for him, it was actually, okay, let's build a more automated software solution for these clients. We can lower the price. We have to do less sales calls then, and we can onboard more clients, and it gets delivered automatically. I mean, look at Joe Rogan. All his decade-long projects are about yapping about things he's passionate about.
I believe in evolution. I just don't think all the monkeys cross the finish line at the exact same time.
It's always a topic he's passionate about, and then something with monkeys. For myself, I love communicating ideas. And the problem previously with my old videos was that I spent 70% on editing and perfecting the packaging and just only uploading once a month. And now I shifted it to simpler videos, a smaller audience that is higher quality. Yeah, I'm talking about you. You're higher quality. You're great. And I can put videos out weekly and share more of my ideas and do more writing. And giving you an example in the Guruverse, look at somebody like Gary Vee and Alex Hormozi. If you asked both of them, they would tell you, my passion is just business. I just like business. But what they do day to day is complete opposite to each other. And if you would have them swap places, they would probably burn out in a couple of months. Because Gary Vee is in meetings all day. He's a yapper. He's always talking, connecting with people, always doing 1,000 things in one day. And even his books are ghostwritten and he just yaps to the ghostwriter and then she writes it. This guy would not be able to sit down for just 5 minutes and write. Whereas Alex Hormozi is somebody who sits down and writes and distills frameworks and then teaches it to his portfolio companies and the audience. And I think he even said that he has 3 rules for a good day. And one of them is writing and then work out with friends. And then I think a third one is like, I don't know, like make $100 million with one book in 72 hours, something crazy. So my point is, if you're not fulfilled or enjoying what you do, or you're looking to start a new business that you want to be passionate about this time and not hate your life, this is the first place to look. It is the what, the core work that you do day to day. Because what you do day in and day out, that is the experience of your life. And if you enjoy most days, you can keep doing it for decades. And that's where the biggest results await. And I see this with a friend of mine who is starting a new business. And the first question he asks is, okay, what about this product? This could be good. Or this service, right? Or what about this business model? But I think it's the wrong thing to start with. First, you want to zoom out. What would I enjoy doing day to day? And then from there, that informs what is the model? What are the products? What is the problem you want to solve? What's the thing that allows you to do this thing, or at least most days? Which brings me to the next point. Once your core work is fun and enjoyable, it's already covering 30% of the passion pyramid. This next one is going to be surprising. And real quick, before I forget, if you are an established business owner, you have a lot of money, you're super successful, and you think I could help you as a mental sparring partner get clarity on your next move, then you can click the link below, apply, and if I think we're a good fit and I think I could help you, then maybe you can give me money. Moving on. The second one also is connected to my conversation with Sean Puri on the podcast. So Sean Puri, again, the guy from My First Million, he talks to a ton of entrepreneurs. He knows a lot about business. And he was telling me, man, when I finished one of my projects, there's a friend of mine who is really successful. He's crushing it now. And years ago, I thought, man, you and I, we should just do something together. I don't know what we're going to do, but it would be so fun to work together. We would work so well together. I wouldn't even care what we would do. Just you tell me what you think we should do, and I'm going to build it with you. And I thought that was so inspiring. Because for myself, I realized I can do one thing, making content for newbies that are struggling with procrastination and I can't get off my phone. It's just not that energizing to me, but making videos for people who are already doing things, building things, right? Who are established entrepreneurs is way more fulfilling and fun and energizing. Then when it comes to the YouTube realm and podcasting realm in general, I get in touch with so many cool people. It's just fascinating. Whereas if I made content on LinkedIn, I don't know, I'm not hating on LinkedIn people here, but it's just not my vibe. It just wouldn't be that fulfilling. Now think about a boss that you worked with, a shitty boss, versus a great boss who you really enjoyed working with, but maybe they paid you less. Maybe there was less of a great vision and impact and purpose behind it. How much of a difference made it who you work with? And don't get me wrong, some of you might disagree with me, but I think the second most important factor is who you work with. It's the people you work with, you're surrounded by, or that you work for. I would never be interested in starting a farm and be a cowboy, but I would totally have a mini farm with my family so I can spend some quality time with them. The moment I change who I'm doing it with, it becomes just a lot more enjoyable. It makes or breaks the thing oftentimes. Even if I was working a boring government job, let's say I worked at the DMV, but I'm surrounded by my besties and we're all cracking jokes all day, and we're surrounded by Victoria's Secret models, let's say, I think we'd have a pretty good time. I think I'll be able to sleep well at night. I don't know. I could be wrong. And of course, the more of these 5 things you get right, the better it gets. Now, this next one is a really important choice, and it also kind of connects to the who. See, when most people think about passions, they think about topics, right? You're really into sports or tech or Pokemon. And again, I think it's way more important what you actually do, right? The core work that you do day to day. But the topic / sector / market / industry that you're choosing is a crucial choice, because every year that you spend in one of these, right, in a let's just say industry or topic, you learn more and more, right? You build these bricks of knowledge that if you were to switch industries, you oftentimes just start with way fewer bricks. And it just compounds over time, where if someone's been in the YouTube game for 10 years, or they've been in the AI game for 10 years, they've seen so many shifts and movements and things that you can only really know if you've been doing it for a long time. Therefore, it is very important what industry you choose, and that you choose one that you know this is going to fascinate me for decades. And it also allows me to surround myself with people that I really click with. So number 3 is simply where, right? What's the industry, topic, sector, market that I'm going to choose to go into? And sometimes that little switch can be enough. If you already enjoy the what and you're surrounded by great who's, then the where can add a lot of excitement and fulfillment depending on how much you currently hate the where, the topic, the industry that you're in. And just a simple switch like that can make a big difference. But again, the cost of switching is quite big. You do miss out on things. And I think if you do have to switch, at least think about if you can pick something that's adjacent. Now, this next one seems a little bit random, but hear me out. You can leverage your zone of genius, be around people you admire in an industry that fascinates you, but it could be super competitive. And this is where this one becomes really relevant. For example, great, Billy, you love going to the gym and you also like clothing. And so you start a gym clothing brand, genius, right? How original. And good luck, you're now competing with tens of thousands of other schmucks who had the same idea, and with Gymshark and other giants, and you have no competitive advantage here. And it's not really that fun when you have your face pushed into the dirt day in and day out. Now, given that people like you who are watching the channel are already super successful and are crushing it in business, you may not be able to relate to this, but an important question is, how can I win here? Because if I'm not, it's just not going to be, it's just not good. It's winning is fun. Can I admit that? Can I say that? Am I wrong for saying this? And so this one is when. What works now? Because, for example, If you are in it at the wrong time when it's super competitive and you don't really have the early access advantage, or you're too late, I don't know. Honestly, I just said when because I wanted to make the framework work. Because I think it would sound like I just want to be smart, like the gurus out there. The point is just what works when. Is the timing right? Because timing isn't important. You get my point. But again, you can choose something that you really enjoy, you're around cool people, but if you can't win because you're just not good enough at the thing, you kind of got to factor that into what you're doing and how you can make what you're doing more fulfilling. Because again, winning is fun and it is important and it does make things more enjoyable. And in the end, the purpose is the final piece, because when the foundation is solid, the purpose finds you. Because you simply ask yourself, okay, we're doing this cool thing with cool people in this cool industry and it's working. What can we do with this? What is the impact that we can have? It adds an extra level of gear when things get tough, and it helps with PR and recruiting. And no matter what you're doing right now, you can add some sort of deeper purpose to it that just makes it feel better, right? Like you can say, yeah, we lay bricks, or you can say, we build homes, and it gives you that warm, fuzzy feeling, right? Like you're doing something good, just... If you're a successful entrepreneur and you would like to have me as a mental sparring partner to get clarity on how you can make your business more fulfilling and leverage your zone of genius, you can apply below. But before you go, the last thing is, you can still get all of these right and still not feel fulfilled because you've simply trained your brain to always find the bad and always beat yourself up, because that's kind of what made you hardworking and therefore successful in the first place. And now it's simply sabotaging you. No matter how great things get and how fulfilling and fun, you will take your way of thinking and your way of being into everything that you do. So I would recommend checking out this video right here on how to retrain your brain by tapping into the winner effect. So I'll see you over there. Stay driven.
Mark Zuckerberg?